What am I doing today? Today's quite an interesting day actually. I've got to finish the floor joist, and if you don't know anything about floor joists, they go at 40 centimetre centres. That's from the centre of a floor joist to the next centre of a floor joist. That is the distance between the two. Floor joists are what basically hold the house up, and the important part with the vertical force is there's also a horizontal force, because if they're slightly off, there's going to be some lateral movement. Is that the right word? Maybe. But noggins are there to prevent that. Noggins are basically wedges that go in between the floor joist. That is what I've got to tackle today, and putting the remaining nails in. And also I need to triple check my measurements, because I think I'm going to go for a warm deck roof. If you're new to the whole like DIY building world, you've got two different sorts of roof construction. You've got warm deck and you've got cold deck roof. The difference between the two is like where the insulation is layered. So I'm going to be going for a warm deck roof. And why is that important at this stage where I've just done the floor joists? Well, for the stud walls, because that is going to have an effect on the overall height of the house. Therefore, when I'm cutting these stud walls, you need to bear in mind the finished height. So it's really important to get all that stuff figured out and is just set in stone from this point on. And hopefully I'll have enough time today that I can actually get on and start doing the stud walls, which is very exciting. It's going to start moving a lot quicker now, the project, because when you're doing all the groundwork and making sure everything's level, it's quite a lot of time, and nothing really seems to be changing very much. Whereas now, yeah, it's all going to start taking shape in the next few videos, really. As soon as I put the first screw in, the like torque of it burnt through whatever you call this surround thing is. So now this spins, which means I don't actually have a bit to put any screws in. So as soon as I've started it, I've now got to go and drive and go buy lots of these. If you're doing stud walls, the length of the screws needs to be between 70 and 90 millimeters. And actually, if you don't know anything about screws, 5.0 is the I don't actually know. I think it's the strengthness, like the width of the stem of the tree. And then obviously 80 is 8 centimeters long. This little torquey bit, these ones are good because there's more surface area than the normal like Phillips screwdriver bit. So it doesn't blitz the screw as much, so that's good. And also, key thing to remember is you need to have a shank of the screw. I think that's what this bit's called, where it's all smooth. You need to have that because that's what allows 2 bits of 4x2 to pull together. Because if you have the screw thread like this bit going all the way up to the top, that can actually create a little bit of a gap between the 2 studs when you put 4x2 up against each other, and then you have to pull the screw out, screw it again to actually clamp it. Whereas if you have a straight shank on the screw, that prevents that. Look what I just bought, okay? 3 boxes of this, right? A trade box of like many different screw. And this, which was reduced, which is the bit that I needed, that thing, 100 quid. Don't worry, I'm keeping a note of all the costs of everything. And when I finish this project, I'm going to do a cost breakdown, and I'm also going to say how much all the tools cost, because people get scared about buying tools, but don't use that as an excuse not to get into this stuff. The cost of tools nowadays is literally nothing. You just need an impact driver, a chop saw, and a drill, and you can do 85% of the work. Teleport back to the tiny house project.